Kavibhirilitam kalmashapaham Sravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvigrinanti e Bhurida Janaha. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, like the traditional Veda, the storehouse of spiritual knowledge, instructing very clearly and emphatically, renunciation and discrimination are the only two processes, only two practices which can take us to God realization. Now the question is, why we are studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna? It is not a story book. It is a book of knowledge. What type of knowledge? Spiritual knowledge. How to get that spiritual knowledge? Only by two things to practice. What are the two things? All the scriptures, they said, and Sri Ramakrishna also emphatically he is mentioning renunciation and discrimination. These are the two words, Tyaga and Vichara. Renunciation is Tyaga. What we have to renounce, and that is our desire to have these worldly, temporary things. This is very clear. Now, some people, when they talk and when they ask questions like, if we are not working properly, if we are not having the desire, then where will be the world? That is not your problem. World will be there. Your problem is, are you happy in these worldly things? If you are happy, then this spirituality is not for you. But if you think that this cannot give me the permanent satisfaction, permanent joy, permanent peace, then this book, Sri Ramakrishna and his advices are very, very essential. In our last discussion, we have heard when the people are asking that the page of the book is 248, 49, 50, we are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna translated by Nikhilananda ji. And here we have already read those portions, discussed about that, and we found that people are asking, who are those people? Householders. Because the particular chapter is with the devotees at Dakshineshwar. So in the Dakshineshwar, Sri Ramakrishna, he is discussing with the devotees and they are asking, sir, can one realize God while leading a life of a householder? Very specific question. Can one who is leading a householder's life also realize God? Monks are the great souls, the renouncers, they can. But when I am in this worldly life, I have some responsibilities, I am performing my duties, can I too realize God? Another is asking, what is the way? Sir, what is the way? And third question we found, can anyone lead a spiritual life while performing duties as a householder? Not this specific question, he has said in a different way, I didn't find anyone in this worldly life, in this world, who is advancing in the spiritual life, etc., etc. There, actually he is asking this question, wanted to know this, what is that? Can anyone lead a spiritual life while performing duties as a householder? Now the question answers of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna that we find very simple answers, but very to the point, very specific. Those who are really interested in spiritual life, instead of reading thousands of books and getting confused. If we read these and then concentrate and practice, then the goal is so easy for us. Now, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, do your duties in the world, fixing your mind on God. Do your duties. He is not asking Yagat Anitya. The Vedanta Vadin, they are telling Yagat Anitya. It is totally temporary. This world is temporary. The Vedantas, they say. The Buddhists are telling full of misery. This world is full of misery. And then Sri Ramakrishna is telling, no, you be there. Whatever duties you are performing, you perform. Whatever the profession you are practicing, that you also can continue. But only one thing, perform your duties, fixing your mind on God. Now the question is, what is God? The highest form of morality. And what is the highest form of morality? Is pure unselfish love. And why should I, or how can I love each and every one? And unselfishly, because I see divinity within them. So that is the ultimate thing. The Vedanta says each and every soul is divine, and the devotee says each and every soul is nothing but the manifestation of my God. My God has taken this form, my God has taken that form. That is the devotee's way. But they see God only. And Vedantin, he sees Atman, the soul, the Brahman presence in every being, whatever it may be. But the thing is, they see God and then they start loving them, serving them unselfishly, without any motive. When we are serving someone, if we have some motive, that is not the spiritual way. Without any motive, without any expectation of whatever, the support or the appreciation or money or position, nothing, just service for service sake. So that you do your duties in the world, fixing your mind on God. So fixing your mind on God means this. I have to always constantly think that within me God is there, and without also, outside also God is there. And when I am traveling, when I am sitting, when I am lying, when I am alone, when I am in the work, when I am in the company, for a second just close your eyes and try to imagine within your heart the God is residing. He is sitting, He is waiting, He is listening, He is taking the food. That's all. And we will come to that sadhana. What is that sadhana? This. So this is the very simple way. So this Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, do your duties in the world, fixing your mind on God. Practice of the presence of God. Constantly presence of God. Go to solitude. But how to do that? Then the second step he is telling, go to solitude and observe your mind. You have to spend a few days in solitude. He is giving the stress on that. You have to spend a few days in solitude. Suppose 2-3 days we go, maybe in America, here in Chicago, we have Ganges retreat. Anyone can approach us and we can give the permission, they can go and stay. And suppose he goes and thinks that 2 days I am not going to talk to anybody, not over phone, not over anyone discussing, simply all alone. 2 days Mauna Brata, the silence I will practice. I will eat the one time or maybe twice, or just go on reading books, meditating. Anyone can practice it. And that way he will understand the solitude. He can understand the power of solitude, the wonderful way the mind is changing. Only 1 or 2 days. You have to spend a few days in solitude. Not that in continuously go and 2 days spend and come back and again about another 2-3 months afterwards again you go, again you practice like that, like that, like that. And that gives a wonderful calmness in the mind. When you are totally alone, when you are left to yourself, when you are only talking with your own mind, when you are observing your mind, and your company is nothing but God, the holy books, and different wonderful spiritual lives that you are reading, getting the inspiration. What happens then? Mind becomes perfectly prepared for the journey towards God. Develop strong spirit of renunciation. Give up at once with determination. So the third, firstly what he said, yes, you can realize God. Why not? But do your duties in the world, but keep your mind constantly attached with God, remembering God. First. Second, go to solitude and observe your mind. Is it tranquil? It is quiet, or it is very, very agitated constantly? And what for the agitation? What the mind is thinking? That you observe your mind and quieten down 1 or 2 days. Then he is telling, develop a spirit of renunciation. What is the spirit of renunciation? I have car, I have house, I have family, I have friends, I have relatives, and I have position in this world. Now suppose you go into solitude and just observe how things are moving. You will find that without you everything is moving nicely. And there is no problem. And sometimes only when you come back the people will say, what happened? I didn't see you there that much. Then if you ask them whether you missed me, oh no, I was so busy I couldn't remember you. But anyway, it's good that you are here now. So that is exactly that constantly we find that renunciation, whether I am here or not, it doesn't matter at all. And if it is matters, then also it's temporary. After a few days, few years, I am going to pass away. That is sure. Maybe today, maybe after 100 years. But I won't be here. Renunciation. Then with the determination, so that much only I need, only for my survival, nicely. Because I have developed some habits. Because my lifestyle is like this, certainly I cannot live in an austere life like that. So all these things are necessary, but that much only. I am not hankering for anything else. So that is, he says, third. And in the Ashtabakra Samhita also it says, Moksha Vishaya Vairasyam Bandha Vaishayiko Rasaha Eta Badeva Vijnanam Jathechasi Tatha Kuru. Yatha Ichchasi Tatha Kuru. Yatha, whatever, Ichchasi, you are desiring, Tatha, that, Kuru, you do. You do or you practice whatever you want. But before that, only two things you must know. What is that? Desire for worldly things is bondage. Moksha Vishaya Vairasyam. Moksha Vishaya Vairasyam. Vishaya Vairasyam. Desire for worldly things is bondage. Why? Bandha. Vishaya Vairasam Bandha. That Vishaya, that thing, when the moksha, liberation we don't want, what do you want? Vishaya. And if we want that, that is the bondage. This is one thing. We want the worldly things, but that is a bondage. What type of bondage? Because again and again I have to come back to this world, this temporary world, the constantly changing world, and I have to go through all the 6 changes: jayate, asti, vardate, viparinyamate, vipakshiyate, mriyate. And born and growing up and slowly decaying and one day death. That is inevitable. Each and every one has to pass through these 6 changes. That is fixed. And the Ashtavakra Samhita, Ashtavakra Muni, he is mentioning Etavadeva Vijnanam. This, if you can understand this, if you can know this, if you can remember, then that is called science. Vijnanam, spatial knowledge. Vishesh Jnana, Vijnana. Spatial knowledge. What is the spatial knowledge? That if my mind goes to the worldly things, then I am bound and I have to come back again and again to fulfill my desire, and for that another desire will arise. I will be going on in that circle. This is one. And second, if I can renounce that, then I get mukti. So the renunciation. Sri Ramakrishna is talking about renunciation, and Ashtavakra Muni, he is also supporting this. This is. Then if you understand this, then you do whatever you like, no problem. If you are firm on that particular knowledge which is called Vijnana, and then you can go anywhere, you can do anything in this world, you are not bound, because in your subconscious mind you are always alert that things should not bind me, I will never do anything or think in so that thoughts, those thoughts which can bind me ultimately. So always alert. Sri Ramakrishna is in his own word, Kathamrita, he is telling in Bengali, Advaita Gyan Achole Bede Jatha Ichha Tatha Jao. Yatha Ichha, wherever you want, Tatha Jao, you go. But before that, you tie the knowledge of Advaita. What is the knowledge of Advaita? Everything is nothing but the manifestation of the same God, same Brahman. I am Brahman and everything is the same. That oneness, the knowledge of oneness, if you are having, then you go, you are free. Nothing can bind you. And that's why he used to tell again and again about Narendra, 17, 18 years young man, whatever he wanted, he did. Sri Ramakrishna was very much conscious and he used to tell others, you should not do this, you should not do that. But about Narendra, he was free. Why? Naturally, contemporary people, they used to feel jealous. Sri Ramakrishna is favoring Narendra, not us. And then that goes. Then Sri Ramakrishna told that the knowledge, fire of knowledge is burning within his heart. Nothing can bind him. Wherever he is, whatever he is doing, nothing can bind him, because that knowledge is already there. We heard from the Ashtavakra Muni, desire for worldly things is bondage, and desire free is freedom. And that is called moksha. Knowledge of these is science. Understand and live your life. Now, this is in support of the Sri Ramakrishna's that suggestion, discrimination. Now, in the fourth way, he is telling practice of discipline is absolutely necessary. Discipline is absolutely necessary. Why shouldn't a man succeed if he practices sadhana? Now, God himself, Sri Ramakrishna himself is God. He is telling, if you practice sadhana, how come that you will not succeed in realizing God? The great, the wonderful words, encouraging words. Those who are really sincere, when they read these, they get all impetus encouragement, the opportunities are there, chances are there. What I have to do? Upasana. I have to practice spiritual austerities, that's all. But this is, he is telling, discipline. And this is very, very important. What is the discipline? What does it mean by discipline? Discipline means we have to fix up a time. This time I am going to get up. This time I am going to sit for meditation. This time I am going to these. All these, all through. So if we practice that discipline constantly, and there are many ways, we will come to that upasana. That is again the Ashtavakra that he is telling, the upasana, how one should do, and we will understand why Sri Ramakrishna is giving so much of stress. The first he said, do your duties and fix your mind on God. Second he said, go to a solitude and try to understand yourself, and you must go. He is giving the emphasis. You have to spend a few days in solitude. Develop strong renunciation. Give up at once with determination what you know to be unreal. At once you should give up. Then he said, practice of discipline is absolutely necessary. Why shouldn't a man succeed if he practices sadhana? And then finally he said, have faith. Have faith means vishwas. Have faith. Faith in what? In the words of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Faith in what? Whatever he said, have faith in that and practice and see the result. Have faith. What is that faith again? That I am divine. And that is exactly we are going to realize. What is God realization? Nothing but to know that I am God myself. And here I am divine. And to prove that, Sri Ramakrishna is narrating a beautiful story from the life of Veda Vyasa. We know that the Vyasa had the firm conviction that it was not himself but Narayana, God, who dwelt in his heart, partaken of the food. The ladies of that village, when they wanted to cross the river, they were not getting the boat, so they came to the Vyasa, who was sitting by the shore of that, and told, sir, you have lot of power, we know, supernatural power, yogic power. Can you please help us? Then he told them, give me some food. They gave lot of food. He ate everything. Then he said, going near to the river, please give them away if I have not eaten anything. That is very peculiar. This moment the man is eating, and then next moment he is telling, if I have not. So Sri Ramakrishna is concluding, he was firm on that knowledge. It is not me, but the Narayana, the God who is dwelling within me, he is eating. So that is called faith, complete faith. God is residing within me. If that, I cannot do anything wrong. I cannot think wrongly. I cannot do anything wrongly. I should not practice anything which will harm others. I should not think anything which will harm others. Because I am God myself, and all that I see is nothing but the manifestation of the same God. So that is called faith. We should have to have that faith. Now the Upasana, Sri Ramakrishna said, if you have the discipline, in the Panchadashi, the Dhyana Deepa, 142nd sloka, it said, Upasanasya samarthat vidyutpatti bhavittataha. Upasanasya samarthat. To practice sadhana or upasana, we need mental power. And one should pray to God to get that power too. Otherwise, we will never think or never could imagine that we will do that. Maybe one day I will do and then next day I cannot. Why? The God's grace is not there. To practice continuously, the inspiration that is also necessary. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita we find that Krishna is telling Arjuna, Buddhi Yogam Dadamaham. I give them that inspiration, that thought, that all these things. He is not that changing us, giving us that inspiration. So to practice that even is necessary the blessings of God. And then what's it? Through spiritual practices, knowledge of Brahman dawn in heart. Through that practices, Panchadashi is a book of knowledge. Upasanasya samarthat vidyutpatti bhavettata. By the upasana, by practicing regularly, there's some people they come and say, can you please tell us what is going to change after taking initiation? And nothing. Nothing is going to change. At least not immediately. But if you are practicing it continuously for a long time with a faith, then you will find the change within yourself. And what are those changes? And the wonderful broadness will come. Catholicity will dawn in your heart, and you can see things properly, understand things properly. So all these good qualities that has been listed in the Bhagavad Gita will slowly you will find within yourself and know for sure that God realization is very near, because all those good qualities are already coming and cleaning your heart. How it was possible? As we take the medicine, we do not understand how the medicine is working. The similar way, irregularly, we are going on taking the name of God that we publish from this Vedanta Society. We publish what's it called, calendar, and the calendar there at the last 2015 calendar, it is on our Raja Maharaj, Brahmananda Ji. And in the Brahmananda Ji's quotation and wonderful pictures, it has been collected. And in this month, in November, if you open, you will see practice, japa, constantly. Why he is telling? Because he knew that only by taking the name of God, everything will happen. But you have to have faith. Only 3 days I practice and I come back and say, why? Nothing is happening. That won't do. Whether it is going to happen or not doesn't matter. I have faith on the words of these great souls. I have faith on my Guru. So whatever he said, that mantra I will go on repeating. That's all. So that upasana, that samartham and that samartha, with that power of upasana, vidyutpatti. What is that? Vidya? Brahma Jnana. And Vedanta Sutra Adhikaran, it says, is giving one after another how one should practice upasana. Aprayan attatrapi hi drishtam. Practice spiritual austerity till you get liberation. How long one should practice? Then it says, aprayana. Prayana means passing away, dead, or before or till you get the liberation. Spiritual austerity should be practiced. And how one should practice it? And one after another sloka it says, asina sambhavat. You should practice it by sitting. So that concentration, and when I am running, I am taking the name of God. When I am walking, I am taking the name of God. And when I am driving, I am taking the name of God. That's okay. But at the same time, seriously, a fixed seat, fixed place, a fixed time. If I come and sit, my body and mind automatically become adjusted that this time I should practice spirituality. Asina sambhavat. By properly sitting, one should practice it. Just by lying down or just bending, not like that. Properly sitting. One should properly sit and then slowly he goes on in that way. Dhyana cha. Dhyana cha. Cha means and. Dhyana cha. When you are practicing concentration, that is also upasana. The upasana must be continuous. Upasana should have the faith. Upasana is best we can do by sitting and at the time of concentration. Then it says achalatvam chapeksha, without any movement. Achalatam. Achala means without movement. So sometimes when we are sitting, that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is giving that example from his own life. When he used to go to Kali temple for meditation, just before entering, he used to turn back and see the image, stone image of a yogi sitting over there. Still that image is there. And he used to see that, is to go and see it, is to think that he is also becoming a stone image. Whole body is just becoming like that. And everywhere in the whole body, no movement, no feeling. So, achalatvat chapeksha. Without any movement, one should practice by sitting at a time of concentration and also achalatvat. Achalatvam chapeksha. Then it gives in the fourth, smaranticha. And remembering every moment, that is also upasana. What is upasana? When you are remembering God every moment. In the Bengali song, one great sadhaka, he is telling, when you are moving around in the city, think that you are going on circling the temple and the mother and remembering her. When you are eating, think that you are feeding the Divine Mother. When you are sleeping, think that you are lying on the lap of your Divine Mother. Every time, every moment, go on repeating, remembering. And in another song it says, when that condition comes, there is not a single moment left when I cannot think of God, then why should I go to the pilgrimage centers, holy places? It's not necessary. Gaya, Ganga, Prabhash, Adi, Kashi, Kanchi, Keva, Chai. All these very, very famous holy places, pilgrim centers. The Gaya, Ganga, Prabhasa, Kashi means Benares, Kanchipuram, that famous place. Who wants that? Kali, Kali, Kali bole, Ajopa jadi purai. If I go on repeating the name of Goddess Kali, he was the devotee of Kali. So he is telling, when I am taking the name of Goddess Kali continuously, why should I bother about visiting the holy places? So that is the spiritual condition. So here it says, smaranticha. And when you are remembering the every moment of God, that is also sadhana. Then again it says, yatri kagrata tatra visheshat. Whenever mind gets tranquil, then practice. Sometimes some people will say, when I will do the practice? Yeah, morning and evening, as the Guru has said, is okay. When you are free, you do. And suppose sometimes I have seen some people, they come, they sit over here in the chair and just closing the eyes, but maybe for a long time they are sitting. Why? Suddenly that thing has come, that time has come when his mind is becoming tranquil. Yatra ekagrata. The moment you find that your mind is becoming concentrated, is not thinking other thing and not liking to talk to somebody or read anything, immediately sit and try to meditate. That is a good time, because that mind is becoming tranquil. Chittasya ekagrya sampadake deshe upasita. Whenever mind becomes concentrated, practice. Now, wherever. First is the whenever, and this is wherever. Desha upasita. Desha means the place. Sometimes some place we go, the vast sea, an open field, wonderful blue sky, no people around. So we feel like sitting over there, sit there. Try to practice meditation over there. That's called the upasana. When we are sitting over there, immediately the mind will be tranquil. So take that opportunity, the situation, in whatever place. Sometimes some of the particular places when you go, our mind becomes tranquil. If you go to Dakshinesha or to that particular room where Sri Ramakrishna lived for such a long time, if you go and see it, you feel that your mind is going back to those days, because you have read the gospel. You can remember how the Master Moshe is entering, Narendra entering, all people are coming and sitting, Sri Ramakrishna sitting in this small cot, and then he is talking, he is cutting jokes and making fun and dancing, singing, so many things happen. You go, transport your mind into that, and that is a wonderful, and you feel like going over there again and again. That is the place. Wherever your mind is dragging you to go, go and try to utilize that particular atmosphere, and that is called upasana. What will happen after all this upasana? Abhyasad ramate yatra dukkhantancha nigacchati. In the Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, it says, all your long practice of discipline or the upasana puts an end to all sorrows. Puts an end to all sorrows. What is the happiness? Everyone is trying to get the happiness, the joy, the peace, the bliss. What is that? The end of sorrows, then automatically happiness. And how to complete the end of sorrows will come by practicing upasana. So this here we find today that Sri Ramakrishna is urging to practice upasana. That's a daily routine, regularly you have to do. This is a discipline. Now, how we can do it, how long we should do, till we get the liberation. How we should do? Better if we are sitting, better when we are trying to concentrate, better when you are practicing that in stopping all movement of your body and mind, achalatvam, and at the same time constant remembering. And whenever mind is becoming concentrated, that time evening is approaching, day is going out, that called sandhya. Sandhya means the juncture of the day and evening, and the night and the day. That time, if the mind is tranquil, practice that time, and where your mind becomes tranquil, go and utilize the opportunity of that particular place, practice it, and what you will achieve after practicing all this, you will be free from sorrow. So now Sri Ramakrishna is going to another chapter, and he is telling that, but this is natural that it becomes very difficult for one to understand. Even a person like Shankaracharya, he was a Brahmagyani to be sure, but at the beginning he too had the feeling of differentiation. Now we hear about the Advaita Vedanta, we talk about the Advaita Vedanta, we always reading about the oneness, the Brahman, but it is so difficult to really practice it. Why? Because it is difficult. Even Shankaracharya also was finding it really very difficult. At the beginning, he too had the feeling of differentiation. He didn't have absolute faith that everything in this world is Brahman. The person like Shankaracharya. Then he is narrating a story, incident that happened in the life of Shankara. One day, as he was coming out of the Ganges after his bath, he saw an untouchable, a butcher, carrying a load of meat. Inadvertently, the butcher touched his body, Shankaracharya's body. Shankara shouted angrily, "Hey there, how dare you touch me?" Then that person told, "Revered sir," the butcher said, "I have not touched you, nor have you touched me. The pure self cannot be the body, and not the 5 elements, not the 24 cosmic principles. 26 tattva, 24 principles. It is not." Then Shankara came to his senses. He understood he is not an ordinary butcher, he is the Shiva himself. So in Kashi, he realized this type of things and his knowledge became really perfected. Now here also in life of Swami Vivekananda, we find he heard and then afterwards, after the experiences, his knowledge became perfect. So naturally it is a long practice, and personalities, the great personalities like Shankaracharya, Vivekananda, when they were having this, it is natural that we too will have. And moreover, there are 2 things that we must not forget. The one is Vyavaharika and another is Paramarthika. The Vyavaharika, that is worldly, that is practical, and another is Paramarthika, and which is spiritual, transcendental, actual, that is Paramarthika. But we cannot practice all the time the Paramarthika things, because the Brahman is not having any thirst, any hunger, any pain, any pleasure. And if you expect that a person living in the body will also have the same, it is wrong, because Vyavaharika is a different thing. The moment you get a body has its own way of living. The thirst will be there, pain will be there, joy will be there, hunger will be there, and all these things will be there in the body. So these 2 things, then Shankara he said, and then in one place he is telling anyone in any place can have that knowledge of Brahman, and he is mentioning about Jada Bharata. Jada Bharata. Bharata was his name, and Jada means he was just like a stone. He never talked, he never did anything. So this one king was there. He was not knowing who is this man sitting quietly without any talking, without doing anything. He needed one person to help to carry his palanquin. And he asked, "Why not you come and join and help me?" The king of the country is asking naturally, Jada Bharat, the great sage. Afterwards people discovered he went and he was carrying, and he was going on. That was the first time he was going on talking about the knowledge. And while the Jada Bharata was carrying the king Raghugana's palanquin, and at the same time giving a discourse on self-knowledge, Atma Bodha. The king got down from the palanquin and said to Jada Bharata, "Who are you?" Then he answered, "I am the pure self, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am the pure self." he had perfect faith that he is the pure self. I am the pure self. So this is the conviction of the Jnanis. And at the same time, immediately he is mentioning, but the Bhaktas said, the whole universe is the glory of God. So approaches, that is the beauty of the Hinduism. Sanatana Dharma is having so many different type of views and approaches. Why? Because there are 4 different type of temperament, mentality. The one person is very much eager to all the time keeping his mind busy on discrimination. And he don't like to go to temple for worship, he don't like to do any service work, he don't like to do any other thing, but constantly his whole mind is focused on knowledge. So Jnani. Another is working, another is devotion, because the natural love and emotion that he is focusing, channelizing towards God, and that is called devotion. And that is why the Sri Ramakrishna mentioning over here, that is the path of Jnani. I am the self. But the Bhakta says the whole universe is the glory of God. Whole universe is the glory of God. It is not God, glory of God. The God has created this, manifested this, but doesn't mean that he has been exhausted by creating this. It doesn't mean that he is this, but it is in God, resting in God. But this is what the Bhakta says. No matter what path you follow, yoga is impossible unless the mind becomes quiet. Now Sri Ramakrishna is telling that whatever path you want to follow, you can, but yoga, what is the yoga? Union with God, union with Atman. As we call it, realization, God realization, self-realization, that is called union. So that called yoga, union. Union or the yoga is impossible unless the mind becomes quiet. The mind of a yogi is under his control, he is not under the control of his mind. And what is mind? We know the mind means the process of thoughts, is repository of different thoughts, constantly moving on, one after another, like the waves of the ocean, non-stop it is moving. Where from these thoughts are coming? From the past back. And one after another, so many lives we have lived, and naturally so many experiences. From there, so many different thoughts are constantly crossing. And in the modern age, it is more difficult. Previously, it was not, so many things were there we didn't know. So naturally, mind was not attached to those things. And nowadays, it is so much attached. If you notice, particularly in the developed country like this America, not a single person, even for a single moment, without the cell phone or this or that, constantly the mind is over there. I saw a lady, she was doing some exercise and then also she is going on. Oh, that time also she was going on observing something in her telephone. And constantly all the people over there, the microphones are so loudly, the songs are going on, still then each and every one individually plugging the ear and listening something. And the devices has come up so that they can, when they are working the physical, they can keep that phone in the hand over here, running and all these things and constantly. What is it? The symbol of tremendous mental agitation, vikshipta, mudha, a different type of mental condition. So this ekagra, concentrated mind is the only way. And there is no other way. That's why the spiritual practice, like taking the name of God, is the only way. Whatever we are doing is no problem, but go on repeating the name of God, just like that. And Sri Ramakrishna is telling, if you are getting down in the water by yourself, or somebody is pushing you into that water, both are the same result. And similarly, if we are driving and repeating the name of God half-heartedly, my attention is on driving, my attention is on many things, but at the same time I am repeating, that will also work. Nothing is going to be wasted. So that way we can keep our mind. Sometimes when we are driving, putting a CD, listening to the spiritual thing, that will also take our mind constantly giving the same idea. But most of the people, they listen to bhajan, that is also good, but that is a sort of a entertainment. If the music is rhythmic music is there, we don't pay much attention to the words of the bhajan, of the divine song. We are not paying much attention to the words and the meaning of those words, but we are enjoying the tune, the music, and that is the entertainment, sort of entertainment, but not enlightenment. So the enlightenment, constantly we have to take consciously the name of God. Mere to giridhari lal dusra na koi, as always I quote, is a famous song of Meera. We have to know that is okay, the music is okay, the tune is okay, but what is the meaning of those words? I have only one God and He is my all and nothing else. So that constantly that it should be in the mind. That's why Bhagavan is telling, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, no matter what path you follow, yoga is impossible unless the mind becomes quiet. The mind should become quiet. How? With one thought. There are so many thoughts constantly crossing my mind. When I want to control it, I cannot control it because the mind is not under my control. Rather, I am under the control of my mind. So obviously here we have to do the opposite. And how we can do that? By sending a strong thought, opposite thought to that current that is coming, flowing. What is that opposite thought? Name of God. If we can send the name of God in the same flow or more powerful flow, then the other thoughts will slowly stop. I will not do merely to, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, it will not do merely to repeat, I am He, I am He. He is again taking that the Jnana Margis is very difficult. In the Bhagavad Gita also Sri Krishna is giving this, the one must be very, very careful because the Jnana Marga is very difficult. I am not He, you can repeat. But what is He? That you do not know. That I am He, so what is He? That you have to, rather you have to constantly say, I am not that, what I am thinking. This body, this mind, this association, when I am thinking in that way, that is the mistake I am making. He means the God, He means the Brahman, He means the all-pervading consciousness. So that if we can, there are certain signs of a jnani. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, all men are by no means on the same level. All men are by no means on the same level. It is said that there are 4 classes of men. Men means the people, the bound, the struggling, the liberated, and the ever free. There is a wonderful way the Sri Ramakrishna analyzed the psychology of the human being. baddha, bound and struggling, and he is also there, liberated, ever free. Struggling means trying to be free, mumukshu. Baddha, mumukshu, mukta, nitta mukta. Mukta means liberated, nitta mukta, ever free, like the Shukadeva. They are ever free. Then why they are taking birth? Only to help the human soul and to give them the guidance how one should practice spirituality. Thank you, friends, for coming over here. And slowly the winter is approaching, so naturally it is becoming difficult for people to come. And let us conclude by offering our pranam to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavasaram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.